So my first video is on breastfeeding. Now I chose breastfeeding because it seems so simple and easy, but it's actually a science. Like I have learned with my 3 children, breastfeeding is not easy, and it may seem natural, and it does become natural, but at first it's not. And so I wanted to share my tips with you because my journey with breastfeeding started very complicated with my son, and I was lucky to be able to go and meet the Leche League, who gave me many tips, a lot of help, a lot of information. So I really wanted to share this because I think it's really valuable, especially when you're a young mum and you feel lost and lonely and you don't know who to ask. So here it is, I'm going to share it with you. So I won't share everything today because there's a lot of information and different phases and different tips I can apply and explain. So just so it's easy, I'll do several videos so you can follow easily. So today I'm just going to talk about the supply of milk. Either you have too much milk, either you don't have enough. My case was I had too much. And with my son, it was really complicated because I thought that having too much milk was a good thing. But I realized, well, in my case, it wasn't, because my son was crying, he was frustrated, he was restless, he would actually scream at the end of feeding. It was awful. And so that's when I went to see the Leche League to get some help, because I didn't know what to do. So I did find out that I did have too much milk, which is a good thing, but you know, too much or not enough, you need to find the balance. So there are techniques that you can use if you have too much milk. We'll start with that, to just harmonize and balance the supply. So basically I was using both breasts. So I'd start with one, and halfway, more or less, I would change. So that's not the way to do it. If you have too much milk, use one breast. You only give one breast to your child at each feeding, if you get what I mean. So you feed once, one breast, and the next feeding, 3 hours, I don't know, 4 hours, depending on how old is your baby, maybe less, you change your breast. That within, I'd say, a week to 2 weeks will balance your supply. Your breast will be a bit less big, and you will feel that, you know, the production is a bit slower and it's just harmonizing. So that's a really good technique, is don't change breast during one feeding. That will just make it, you know, that's just going to stimulate and ask your body for more milk. That's not what you want. You want less milk, you want less supply, so give one breast at a time at each feeding. There's also something else that's really helpful, is, you know, the baby can get quite frustrated when you have a lot of milk. There's this kind of like hose situation where your baby wants to latch on, and you have all this milk that just like comes out like a wild hose, and your baby can get like really frustrated and kind of fed up, and what is this? I can't handle it. And sometimes they can actually choke. That's what happened with my son. He would like cough and choke and get really annoyed. So a good way is, either with your hands, just your fingers, is to just pinch your nipple and get the first flow of milk out before you actually give the breast to your baby, before he latches on. You can do it with a hand pump or an electrical pump, whatever you have. Just use it, what's most comfortable for you. But really, that's just the idea, is empty your breast just a tiny bit. You don't need to empty too much, because then it can be counterproductive. So just a little bit, just to, you know, so the flow is less strong, and so your baby can latch on properly, and he will feel less under attack, and he will enjoy it, and he will say, whoa, okay, this I can handle. So those are the 2 things really that changed my life and helped me in the long run, is one breast one feeding, second feeding, the other breast, and the supply will balance. And empty your breast just a little bit before your baby latches on. It will make it much more comfortable for him or her. Okay, I hope this helps. I'll make another video and I'll come back soon with some other tips and ideas you can use for your breastfeeding. Thank you. Bye-bye.